Experience. I'm your host, Jennifer Cohen. Welcome to spring. Isn't it wonderful? It's spring now. It's so exciting. I love all the irises and the crocuses and the daffodils and the cherry blossoms. It's such a wonderful time of year and renewal, and of course, more wonderful things going on in the Verde Valley now that it's spring. So good show for you today. Our first guest today is going to be Sheila Stubler. She's the park manager at Fort Verde State Historic Park, and she's brought a friend with her. She's brought along Ranger Robert, who is a park ranger specialist there at the park, and he's wearing a wonderful uniform today. It's such a delight to see. They're here to talk about the history of the soldier that they'll be doing at the park on April 11th and 12th. So you can experience the military timeline of history from the Revolutionary War to the present. So history buffs, this is your thing. You're going to love this so much. Tony Caetano, who is the Sedona Ollie Community Liaison. There we go. I have to say this slowly. The Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. Really awesome place. Self-directed membership organization within the Yavapai College that was created to meet the needs and interests of retirement-age people by emphasizing and encouraging peer learning, member participation, collaborative leadership, social interaction. Awesome stuff. Well, on April 10th, you get to help them celebrate all the things that has made Ollie so successful and thriving still over 10 years. It's going to be a wonderful way for you to experience Ollie maybe for the first time. So Tony's going to be here to tell us all kinds of good stuff about that. Kathy Hillman, the library director of the Camp Verde Community Library, will be here with Ian Burkett, who is an actor from Lark Productions. They are doing Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. They're going to take the stage at Old Bowler's Bar in downtown Camp Verde on Friday, April 10th and Saturday, April 11th. That's one of my favorite Shakespearean plays. Much Ado About Nothing was thought to have been written between 1598 and 1599. Yeah, not quite yesterday, but tell you what, it's considered one of Shakespeare's most wonderful comedies, and it's something you're going to want to see because there's a very interesting twist. Now you have to stay tuned for that one. And then we have Judy Smith, Regional Senior Philanthropic Advisor. It's a big one. Arizona Community Foundation of Sedona. Now, this is a really cool thing you may not know about. The Arizona Community Foundation of Sedona secures, manages, and allocates donor gifts for charitable purposes in Sedona and the Verde Valley. What a wonderful thing to do. Working to improve the quality of life for all the residents here. So stay tuned and you can find out how they're making a difference in our community. Really cool stuff. Then we're going to go on location in Flagstaff. We're going to meet with Bob Hart, who is the scientist in charge at the Flagstaff Science Campus. Amazing place. If you haven't been there, there's 5 different groups doing various types of research and studies, including Arizona water. That's going to be at the Science Center there. Geology, Mineral Energy, and Geophysics Science Center, Southwest Biology Science Center, and the Western Geographic Science Center, and the U.S. Geological Survey Library, which is awesome. So if you like anything having to do with the amazing planet that we're on here, or NASA. Yeah, I said NASA. This is a really cool place. You're going to want to go. We're going to close out our show today with Adalia Tara. Now, she performs week in and week out around Sedona, numerous events. You probably have seen her. The International Film Festival she performed, the Illuminate Film Festival, World Wisdom Days, International Day of Peace, Gumption Fest, more. She's here. She's going to perform live in the studio, and we're very excited about that. So that's really cool. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. We got great things to do. So as I said, our first guest today, we have Sheila Stubler, and we have Robert Jennings with us. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
This is awesome. Thank you for wearing your uniforms.
Sure.
It's always so wonderful when people dress up for the show. Always makes me feel so special. So you guys, first off, you're open 7 days a week now.
Yes, we are.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
It's an incredible feeling. Since 2009, we've finally got open 7 days a week, and the community and everybody's been really supportive.
That is absolutely amazing. I bet you brought in some new people for that.
Working on it.
Yeah, to fill the space. You've got a lot going on there.
Yes.
And gosh, you have something going on right now. But the thing we're going to talk about is the history of the soldier. Is this new? Have you done this before?
History of the soldier, we've done that for probably about the past 12, 13, 14 years.
So
at
it's
one
recent.
time, in historical terms, yes.
Well, there you go.
They called it Armed Forces Day celebration originally, and it was in May, but it was a little too hot to wear the wool uniforms.
Yeah.
So eventually it was moved to April, and it's one of our favorite events because we get to pay tribute to all the military soldiers, no matter what war period they served in. So we even had a Roman centurion that showed up one time. So
really?
Yeah.
Well, that's
not on a horse or anything.
Oh no! Dang it! Yeah. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is amazing. From the Revolutionary War to the present, mainly is the focus, but I guess all are welcome.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Soldiers from anywhere.
Yeah.
That's awesome, and it is a 2-day event. It's April 11th and 12th. On Saturday, the 11th, it's 9 to 5. And on Sunday, it's from 9 to 2.
That's correct.
What are you guys going to be doing during that time?
Well, there's going to be Dutch oven cooking demonstrations, and so so the public can partake in the lunch if they'd like to, and there's a little donation pot to help keep that Dutch oven demos going. And then there's going to be reenactments, there's going to be weapons demonstrations, there's a military fashion show, and
how nice.
So we'll have that, and the cannons and the Gatling guns and different things like that. So we're looking forward to it. Also, we have Marshall Trimble, who's going to be there on Saturday, and he's always been a huge support for the fort. So we are grateful that he's coming this year.
I know, and he is the state official historian?
Yes, I've heard it called historian or balladeer, I believe. There's a couple different names. Not sure exactly which name
he's going to go by.
He goes by other than Marshall. So yeah.
Well, that's cool. Marshall will be there to answer any question you've ever had about Arizona.
There you go.
So if you're one of those people, you've got this really wacky, show up, ask Marshall, because he'll know.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't know, it actually didn't happen.
It might be in his books too. We have a couple of his books there. So.
Wow. Very cool. Well, that's an honor.
Yes,
that he's going to be there. So that's really great. And so tell us a little bit about the park, in case, like you haven't been there already, but just in case, highlight a little bit about
Sure. It's the best preserved example of an Indian Wars fort in the entire state of Arizona. You can walk through 4 of the original adobe buildings, which is my favorite part because the buildings are living, breathing artifacts. So it's not that frequent you can walk through a museum and actually have the building be an original exhibit. And so you can walk through there. There's all kinds of displays and artifacts, and the rooms are all fully furnished in the homes along Officers Row. So we basically have 4 of the original buildings out of 22 left, and if you're a history lover, even just a smidgen, you won't be disappointed with Fort Verde.
Oh gosh, no, it's awesome. It is absolutely awesome. I love all the displays and the wedding gowns and all the decorations. It's just so incredibly well done.
And the Corbusier trumpet that's on display was found on Custer's battlefield. So you actually get a chance to see the original trumpet that they found. It even has, on the very end of it, it has one of the buglers' names inscribed, Bugler Wetmore. So it kind of puts you a little bit more in touch with the person who actually used that trumpet.
That's awesome. What a find. Very cool. Now, Robert, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're a reenactor, you're a park ranger, and you've done everything there is. Believe me, he's done everything there is that's cool on the planet. But your role at the park, what is your role at the park?
My role at the park is, one, to be a specialist to greet the people and make sure everybody has a pleasant experience at the fort. Number 2, to make sure the buildings and all the exhibits in the grounds are kept up for the park, and the safety for all our visitors. Another big thing is I help out doing reenactments, to also doing classes like the adobe making classes, to Kids Day we got coming up. It's a real big event. Teach kids how to fold the flag, to different games and stuff that at the period of time would be going on at the fort 144 years ago.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. Something kids need to learn hands-on, the brick making. It's good for kids to play in the mud. Anyway, it's good for everybody. I can put the Game Boy or whatever it is down and play some little games that you played so long ago. That's got to be such a rewarding part of your job, playing with the kids.
Oh, most definitely.
Tell us a little bit about the uniform you're wearing.
The uniform I'm wearing is an infantry uniform. I'm a sergeant in the infantry, and we have the blue stripe going down the side because they pieced together the uniforms after the Civil War. Because they took the money, the government said, let's take the money and make better weapons. So the uniforms were pieced together. You had one uniform. Yes, it is wool. This is a replica. This is not original, but you can see the originals in the actual museum. And what I would do, I would protect the fort, and I would also do the jobs around the fort. Also, if I was there at an early enough time, at that period of time, I would also probably be building General Crook's Trail, because the infantry troops are the ones that actually built the trail.
Wow.
From Fort Whipple. It started in Fort Verde, went to Fort Whipple, and then it went from Fort Verde to Fort Apache over by Show Low, Arizona.
Wow. You guys were busy, and you're busy now with all the things that you do. Thank you for what you're
welcome.
doing. Thanks, Robert. That's so awesome. And Sheila Stugler, you're doing such a fabulous job over there.
Well, we couldn't do
Thank
it
you
without
guys so
our
much.
community support and our volunteers, so give a shout out to them.
Thank you to the volunteers, everyone who volunteers at the park. You're awesome. And we're going to see you guys there April 11th and 12th for the Fort Verde History of the Soldier. Lots of good stuff going on there. You can check out the website, azparks.com. Remember, they're open 7 days a week from 9 to 5. Yay. That's so awesome. So you have no excuse for not going, okay? Thank you guys so much for being on the show today. It's wonderful to have you.
Thank you for having us.
Congratulations on being able to be open 7 days a week.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Awesome. And we'll be right back with more of the Verde Valley Experience, so don't go away.
Headaches and back pain are two of the top reasons people choose Mosing Chiropractic. Dr. Mosing also treats symptoms of numbness and tingling, as well as those injured in auto or work accidents. Dr. Mosing uses gentle chiropractic techniques, as well as electric muscle stim and cold laser therapies. Call Dr. Mosing today at 634-0733. No spine left behind at Mosing Chiropractic.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first, don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
Don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
This new mom is struggling to get the skates just right. And now she's holding on for dear life. Her kids can see she may have broke her knees. They still love her though she looks like she's attacked by killer bees. I'm allergic. You don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. Our next guest is Tony Caetano. He is the Sedona Osher Lifelong Learning Institute Community Liaison. That is a really big name tag. Thank you so much for writing a t-shirt. Thank you for joining us today, Tony.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate
it. Please tell us a little bit about OLLI.
OLLI stands for the OSHA Lifelong Learning Institute. This was a program funded by the Bernard Osher Foundation. There are 192 OLLIs nationwide.
Really?
Yes. Most of them are in higher education institutions, four-year colleges, universities. The program here, Yavapai College, is the only community college that has this program. And it started out, it's a grant, it was started out as a grant. Dennis Garvey, who was the Dean of Lifelong Learning at Yavapai College, wrote a grant. It was funded for $1 million. It's an endowment kind of program. And it started out in Prescott. And then they expanded to Sedona and then to the Clarkdale campus. Once they reached 1,000 members in the program, they were allowed to apply for another $1 million. So now we have a $2 million endowment, and we have a little over 2,000 people that come to these programs.
Wow, that's awesome. And what kind of programs do you guys do?
Well, it's we have over 100 facilitators.
Wow.
So there are 100 different kinds of offerings. Right. Anything from Medicare to Reiki to history, science. We have a number of PhDs on staff as facilitators.
Yes, you do. Yeah. You guys are amazing with your gifted facilitators and your wonderful volunteers and your dedicated staff, and then you have all your community partnerships throughout Sedona that help you guys thrive and do so well. I mean, you've been around since 1995. So since it's now 2015, that's 20 years.
Yeah. Well, that's actually the Verde, the Clarkdale campus is celebrating their 10th anniversary.
All right.
And that's actually why I'm here.
Yes.
Pitching the celebration that we have coming up on April 10th, which we're calling Celebrate Community. And we want everybody to come. It's It's going to be at the Clarkdale campus. We're going to have music, dancing, food and drink, and it's going to go from 10 o'clock in the morning to 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right, and not just any music. I mean, we're talking about Cy Brandon here,
yes,
who is a nationally recognized musician with many awards for all his compositions, and he's going to present music from the Civil War. Not just any old song, but music from the Civil War, which is absolutely totally cool, at the 10 a.m. event kickoff, and that's going to be on April 10th. At 10 a.m. So you want to make sure you get there early so you can see Cy Brandon. Then you're going to have lunch.
Then we're going to have lunch catered by the Girona Cafe, which is really good food, and they've been excellent partners with us. It's one of the things that's part of my job. I'm also co-chair of the marketing committee. So I work with Kathleen Francis, and we try to promote OLLI through direct mailing, things like this, announcements, flyers. And we're very fortunate to have people like the Girona Cafe, Java Love, Hog Wild, a number of places that have very generously donated food to our events. And we started doing this about 2 years ago when I first came here from Rhode Island. And we started out as a program called The Taste of OLLI. So we wanted to provide food, and we wanted to show a sample of what the facilitators were doing.
Sure.
So we have an open house event, and people come and they go for like 15-minute segments to different facilitators. So if you were interested in the science of tectonics, you could go to see that professor or facilitator and see what he's going to talk about, and sign up for a learning group or a workshop.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah. It is important to continue learning, regardless of your age. It's very good for your health, both mentally and physically, to continue learning things. And it's not just doily knitting you guys are doing.
Oh, no.
You know, the science of tectonics. That's amazing. Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful programs. I do see them advertised in the paper when you're having something come up, so you can find it there. You can also go to www.yc.edu. And then you're going to get on to the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute in Sedona, or if you want to do the one in Clarkdale,
right.
It's under the same thing, I think. Yeah, but if you haven't been there, so April 10th, you're going to, from 10 to 2, you're going to experience all the things OLLI. There's going to be an absolutely wonderful, wonderful event. And Cottonwood Mayor, Diane Jones is going to be there.
Yes, Diane Jones is going to be there, and we're going to have the Johnny Lingo Trio to do some rock and roll in the afternoon.
Right.
So, like they said, you know, when I was in high school, you know, be there or be square.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's nice. Ending it on rock and roll. See, that shows you how cool OLLI is. End an event with some rock and roll, you know? Yeah. You got to keep rocking and rolling, even if you're retired. You know, you don't want to sit around and watch TV all the time.
Absolutely.
So I know that the Lifelong Learning Institute was created for retired persons. So is there a minimum age to do a class?
No, not really. It's open to anyone, but usually it's people from 55 up.
Okay.
And one of the things, I brought along a catalog, the spring catalog, and it says, you know, for the love of learning. And that's pretty much what got me hooked on the whole program. I'm a retired special education director.
Wow.
And I'm also a facilitator there. I teach a course on grant writing.
All right.
For nonprofits, and that's been pretty successful.
I bet.
I've been doing that for like 2 years now, and the nonprofits have raised about $80,000 in grants.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you for facilitating such an important type of program. I know there's a lot of people out there that need grants for things, and it's for a nonprofit. I mean, that's what you got to do. So there you go. Get yourself over to the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute and check out Tony's class.
There we go. Well, thank you.
Grant writing.
Yeah.
One of many fabulous, fabulous things going on there. Way too cool. Now, your spring term registration begins on
the
April
classes,
13th.
Right, April 13th through May 21st.
Right.
Of the classes, yes.
Okay. So that's when you want to start registering. And if they go online, will they find a list of classes?
Yes, they will.
Okay.
Yeah, the catalog is right online.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Okay, and on April 10th, you're going to go to the Yavapai College's Clarkdale campus, which is on Black Hills Drive, room M137. I'm sure you won't be able to miss it. But so you're going to the Yavapai College's Clarkdale campus. That's very, very important on Black Hills Drive. And the public is invited, and it's free.
Yes.
See, did we say that yet? I don't think so. It's free.
Yes.
Which is amazing. So food, music, learning, be curious, get out there, see what there is. You know, life is too fabulous to waste sitting around doing nothing. Have some purpose in your life. Find something that inspires you. I cannot wait to be retired, I have to tell you. There are so many things I'm going to do when I'm retired.
That's what happens. I'm busier now than when I was working.
That's it. That is true. Tony Caetano, the Sedona Osher Lifelong Learning Institute Community Liaison, also the co-chair of the marketing committee, I hear.
That's
which
correct.
Is very cool. And a facilitator for the grant writing course. Thank you so much for taking time out of your incredibly busy schedule to be here.
I appreciate it.
And I wish you guys the best of luck and have a wonderful celebration on the 10th. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Nice to meet you.
And we'll be right back with more Verde Valley Experience, so don't go away.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Hello, welcome back. We've got lots more Verde Valley Experience, so I'm glad that you've joined us again. We're now here with Kathy Hillman, who is the library director of the Camp Verde Community Library, and she's brought along a friend, Ian Burkett, who is an actor from Lark Productions. And we're going to talk about Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing, which you guys are so graciously bringing to the community.
Yes, it's a library fundraiser for Camp Verde Community Library. I don't know if I don't know how long you've lived in the area, but Camp Verde Library Endowment has done fundraisers for 13 years, and they did something called Denim and Lace, and it was an auction and a dinner, and it was held at the casino. Well, the venue changed, and so we couldn't do it there anymore. And then in the 13 years, the volunteers are all getting older, and so that all that work of collecting all the things to auction.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, organizing it. So we tried to come up with something different that would be not quite as much work for us. It's more work for,
well, sure.
for
That's
him
not
and
work,
his
it's fun.
crew.
It's fun.
Yeah. But yeah, trying to shift it up a little bit and do something a little different, but still have a fundraiser for the library.
Fabulous.
So,
Absolutely, it's a fundraiser for the library, and I think it appeals to a lot of people.
Sure.
A much wider base, really, because I would take my daughter to see it. I think she would love that. She'd have to keeping her from going on stage the whole time, but she would love that. And so many people really appreciate Shakespeare. Why did you choose this particular play?
Well, we didn't choose the play.
Yeah.
They chose it.
Lark Productions chose this play. It's fairly accessible. It's one of Shakespeare's comedies rather than a tragedy or a history. Sure. And it fits fairly well with Camp Verde's kind of air.
Right.
It's a small town. It was set originally in a Renaissance era Italy. But the cavalry rides into town, and they're there for a little while, and comedy ensues.
Of course.
So it works fairly well in the venue,
That's very cool.
which is the large part for why we chose it.
And you've done a bit of a Western spin on
We have. I'm dressed right now in a little bit of a later era Civil War outfit because that's when we're setting it. We're setting it about 1875.
All right.
In the Arizona Territory.
That's way too much fun. Did you have to change much of the script?
A word here or there, changing alcove to storeroom.
There you go.
But we kept all of Shakespeare's language as true as we could we could keep it.
That's very cool. That's part of the interesting works of Shakespeare. And one of the interesting things about Much Ado About Nothing is nothing was basically translated, and it actually back then meant rumors and gossip and ooh, juicy stuff, soap opera stuff. It's a Shakespeare soap opera. It's very, very cool.
Very much so.
So how many folks are in the play? Where'd you get all these people?
Oh, I can't give you an exact number. I would say around 15 actors.
Wow.
And they're people from the Tri-City area, from Prescott Valley area mostly. We've got some people that are commuting down from Flagstaff, NAU students mostly. And they're people that we've either known for years or who we found through other actors in the cast.
Sure. Wonderful.
And they're great people, and we're gonna have a lot of fun.
I bet. Now, go ahead.
I think one of the neat things about doing this play in Camp Verde is back in the days when people were settling the West, Shakespeare was performed. And so it kind of also fits, it's part of our Camp Verde sesquicentennial celebration, you know, 150-year celebration. So we get to bring that flavor of what it might have been like to be there 150 years ago, a little bit of it, you know, and see Shakespeare in the setting.
Right. So it's very pertinent. Now tell me, it's going to be held in downtown Camp Verde at the Old Bowlers Bar. I'm not familiar with that.
Bowlers Bar, it's now we pretty much call it Bowlers Building, but it's on Main Street in Camp Verde, and right now it's owned by Alex Getting, and he has a restaurant in there called Burgers and Beer.
All right.
It might be in there too, burgers, beer, and brats. But he owns the Verde Brewing Company in Camp Verde, so it's a lot of local beer and really great burgers and brats. And they're donating the space to us.
Nice.
We're not having to pay them anything. They're going to clear out the restaurant area, and the bar will be the setting for the stage.
Well, very good.
So the audience will be looking at the bar area and watching the play.
Very fun.
It's a really cool building. It's an old historic building, and it's really neat inside.
Perfect setting. This is all just perfect.
Yeah.
Everything you guys have really thought about this. It's come together so beautifully. So good job on creating this awesome fundraiser.
It's really the creative mind of
Carla Burkett.
Yeah, his mom.
She's the artistic director of Lark Productions. She's the one who does all the creative side of things.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are doing two shows. You're doing an evening show, which is going to happen Friday, April 10th at 6 p.m. And if you're not a night owl, you can go to the matinee, which is the next day, Saturday, the 11th at 1 p.m. Now, how much are the tickets?
The evening performance is $50, and remember, it's a fundraiser.
Certainly.
That includes 2 complimentary drinks and hors d'oeuvres. We will have serving ahead of time before the performance, and the matinee is $30, and that's tea, and we're saying biscuits, but cookies.
Nice.
Tea and cookies. So
tea, cookies, how delightful! So, do you encourage the audience to dress up?
Sure. Yeah. You know, I attended one of their performances in Prescott Valley, and the actors were all mingling with the audience ahead of time anyway. So
there you
sure,
go.
you might as well dress up and have some fun.
Absolutely. Well, you know, it's a fundraiser for the library. The fun is in the first, in fund, and then raiser, and then hey, there you go. Well, that's fantastic. Okay, so like I said, you got Friday, April 10th. Here's your shot, 6 p.m. That one's going to cost you $50, but it's got 2 drinks. So, hey, you know the price of drinks these days. That's an absolutely great deal. Saturday, the 11th at 1 p.m. If you want to do an afternoon thing, want to take, you know, children are acceptable.
Absolutely.
So if you want to take the kids or grandma or whomever you think, definitely worth it. Have some tea and biscuits, and that one's going to be $30. And all the funds are going to go to the Camp Verde Community Library.
Yes. Correct.
That's awesome. And some of that going towards your new building?
That's it. That's exactly what it's going to.
Which is wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And you guys have the Pecan and Wine Festival coming up.
We do.
So you've got lots of stuff going on. I don't know how you find the time to do all this.
And the Lark Productions are planning to be at the Pecan
Make an
and Wine
appearance.
Festival.
Excellent.
Yeah, in costume.
Excellent.
On Saturday at the Pecan
Well, there
and
you
Wine
go.
Festival. So
there you go.
So you'll see some of the actors and,
Very good.
and mingling.
Well, very
Yeah.
nice. See, you can get in good with the actors at the Pecan and Wine, and then you go, oh, I know him. He's so nice. Well, awesome. So we have Kathy Hellman, who is the library director of the Camp Verde Community Library, and we have Ian Burkett, who's an actor from Lark Productions. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is so much fun. I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
And if they want to see anything, can they go to the website?
Yes, they can go to larkproductions.com or .org. 2 A's in Lark.
Yes.
Or the library website.
The tickets can be purchased online or at the library.
Great.
To purchase them online, it's www.cccvl.org.
Well, there you go. Awesome. Sounds great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with more of the Verde Valley Experience, so don't go away.
Every budget, so don't accept defeat. Now you can get covered and still buy me treats.
You take care of your pets. Now it's their turn to take care of you. Visit getcoveredamerica.org to learn about your health insurance options.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund breeding.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We're here now with Judy Smith, who is the Regional Senior Philanthropic Advisor for the Arizona Community Foundation out of Sedona. Now, this is a really, really neat organization you may not know about. I'm really excited that you're here, Judy, so thank you so much.
Delighted to be here.
That's awesome. So please tell us, what is Arizona Community Foundation?
Well, technically, I guess we are what you would call a foundation of funds, a family of funds. But what we really are is a not-for-profit organization that reaches out all across the state. Sedona has one of 6 affiliates and tries to make an impact through philanthropy, if that makes sense.
Sure. And how do you go about doing that?
We work with a lot of different not-for-profit organizations. We work with individual donors and philanthropists. We try to assess where we can make an impact in the community. For example, we just closed our grant cycle for this year, but coming up in April and in May, we have deadlines for scholarship funds. And on a statewide basis, there are a number of projects that the foundation embraces.
Very good. So if you wanted to be a philanthropist and you wanted to donate towards a cause, going through you would be a great way to do it, because it would be keeping it local and putting it into where it was most needed. I loved it. I looked on your website and you were awarded a $20,000 grant for the Sedona Fire District from the Slide Fire Disaster Response Fund to expand Sedona Fire District's public education and awareness campaign. That's fantastic.
Well, and that's a perfect example of how, when there's a special need, as with the slide fire last year, how the foundation has the resources and the opportunities, because of all the philanthropists we have in the state, to really step in when something hadn't been anticipated and help make a difference.
Right. That's awesome. And if you were a nonprofit, so if you were on the other end, they could also come to you and you would work with them.
Yes, that grant cycle I mentioned that we just concluded is a great way to work with nonprofits, but we also work with nonprofits throughout the year. Many of them have their endowments with us simply because they don't have to mess with it. Their donors are assured that it's professionally managed, well taken care of. So that's another way that we work with not-for-profits in the community.
Right. I mean, that's very important. It's challenging to deal with all that. It's a little bit of an accounting headache when you have to deal with that. So to have a foundation that does that.
Right.
And just the good that you're doing in the community in that way and making sure that everything that needs to go somewhere goes there and its proper usage. I mean, I don't know how you keep up with it all.
Well, fortunately, there are a lot of good people all around the state who help make it happen.
Yeah. That's truly amazing. And as the Regional Senior Philanthropic Advisor, what does that mean? What do you do?
It means that I basically talk with people and with organizations about their philanthropy, help them try to figure out what's best for them and how they can use their desire to donate and improve the community in a way that will have the most impact. Some people need to have their own fund. Other people just want to write a check and help make it happen. So whatever works. You don't have to have a lot of money to be a philanthropist. You know, it's a big word, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there have to be a lot of zeros in the check. Don't get me wrong, we love it when there are. But philanthropy is whatever works for the donor, and that's where I come in.
Wow, well that's really great. And you have a lot of folks who work with you. And so you have someone who specializes, again, in the other end, the person who speaks with the non-for-profit that says, you know, the school perhaps, that says we need a tent over the playground, or how do we go about doing that? And you have a person who specializes in that kind of assistance.
Well, I don't know that we have a specialist in playground tents.
Well, no, right, well, not so much in playground tents, but just something that came to mind.
You never know when an organization, you know, they should probably start with me if they're local, and then let me see if I can figure out who that specialist is that we need to put them in touch with to help address their own particular need.
Very good. And you guys are doing something called Arizona Gives Day on April 7th. What can you tell us about Arizona Gives Day?
Well, I want to tell you about it. I just don't want to take all the credit for the Arizona Community Foundation because we're one of several collaborators who make this happen. It's my understanding this is the third year for it, and a lot of organizations nationally have found out that a way to reach particularly younger donors, or maybe people who are new to a region and are not familiar with what the region is about, can sort of sample philanthropy through something like Arizona Gives Day. So as of February 15th, I think, not-for-profit organizations around the state had a chance to sign up to be included in Arizona Gives Day. And what that meant was that come April 7th, there's 24-hour around the clock. If you're a night owl, you want to make a gift at 2 a.m. on April 7th, you can do that. If you want to wait until you get home from work and the kids are in bed and then see what's out there, you can do that. But these organizations have signed up, and then you simply go to the website. I think it's azgives.org. Does that sound right? I think so. And look at the organizations. You can type in Sedona, you can type in Yavapai County. If you're about animals, you can type in animal welfare and see what's there and available. And then you simply online make a contribution. This is really good for a lot of people who want to get started. I know last year the average gift was $395, which surprised me. There must have been several people with a lot of zeros on those gifts. On the other hand, I wouldn't deter anyone who wants to make a $25 gift because once you sample that organization, they're going to be in touch with you. You'll get their emails. You'll learn more about them. And I know that there's some, I was just talking to one of your other guests, and I know that there are some local Sedona organizations who have already signed up. I know the Art Center has signed up, the Historical Society. let me look at my notes here.
Lots of really
good ones.
Yeah.
The Red Rock Trails Fund, the Desert Star Community School, the Sinfonietta, Steps to Recovery. So, and those are just some of them that he was able to rattle off to me. So there are bound to be more as well.
So go to azgives.org. Check that out. That's going to happen on April 7th, statewide, Arizona Gives Day. If you have the need, the feeling, you want to get that wonderful feeling of giving to someone, an organization that's going to really benefit from it. April 7th, go online, azgives.org. Check it out. Feels good to give. Thank you, Judy. Really appreciate you being here. Judy Smith, the Regional Senior Philanthropic Advisor for Arizona Community Foundation. And we'll be right back.
Mom.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. Now we have quite the experience for you today. We are located at the United States Geological Survey Flagstaff Science Campus. Yes, and we are in the Astrogeology building here with Bob Hart, who is the scientist in charge here at the Flagstaff Science Center. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
I'm so excited to be here. This is too cool. And we're sitting here in front of the moon rover.
Yes, this is called the Grover, and it was used for training astronauts back in the 60s.
Right.
Here in Flagstaff.
Which is amazing. You may not know it, but there's a huge facility here for training astronauts of all sorts of things because of, you know, our wonderful desert landscape.
Exactly.
Looks a bit like the moon sometimes.
Exactly.
So are they still doing that here?
No, they still work very closely with NASA and various missions and programs, but the astronaut training program did take place back in the 60s during the Apollo program.
Sure.
So they actually trained the astronauts on the rover here, outside of Flagstaff and other places in northern Arizona.
That's neat. You've got some great history right here. And you've got some wonderful displays in the building regarding that. But you've got a lot going on here. We're going to have to shove it all in here. But how many different groups? You have 5 different groups, all studying different really interesting things.
Exactly. So yes, we have the Astrogeology Science Center, and obviously they are into studying planetary, different types of planetary programs and those sorts of things. We have the Southwest Biological Science Center. They're our second largest group on campus, and they focus on looking at drought and climate change and how it's impacting wildlife, plants, those sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
And they do other studies too related to wildlife and biology. They have a large group within the Southwest Biological Center known as the Grand Canyon Monitoring and Research Center. And that's the group that does all the research related to the releases of water from Glen Canyon Dam down the Colorado River to Lake Mead. So they look at sediment, they look at biology, they look at impacts to cultural resources in the canyon.
Wow.
So they have a rather large staff that does that kind of work.
Right.
We have 3 smaller groups. We have the Arizona Water Science Center, and that group primarily looks at and monitors, assesses surface water and groundwater resources in northern Arizona. They also do special studies looking at water availability, groundwater basins, sustainability, those sorts of things.
Wow.
And another small group here on campus, this is a long one. It's the Geology, Minerals, Energy, and Geophysics Science Center, or GMEG. And it's really our geology folks, and they do a lot of mapping of various landscapes in the Southwest. And so one of their primary programs right now, they're mapping the lower Colorado River below Hoover Dam down to the Mexico border.
Wow,
So,
big job.
Big job. And the final science group is the Western Geographic Science Center. And that's our group that is really into applying remote sensing technology to various natural resource issues. So they look at the effects of populations on the landscape and look at that over time and related to climate change and also impacts from the population.
Wow, that's something.
Yes.
Did you remember all that? Did you write that down? That's a whole lot.
That's a lot.
Well, one really cool thing about the Flagstaff Science Center is a lot of it is open to the public.
It is.
So you can come on up from wherever you are, a day trip from the Verde Valley, come up to the Flagstaff Science Center. You can visit the amazing library, which I hear is one of the best of its kind.
Yes, we do have a USGS library located right here in Building 6. And it's a repository for an archive for biological, geological, and planetary information. It's one of 4 libraries within the USGS.
Wow.
And then, yes, and that's open to the public as
Very
well.
cool. And there's also self-guided tours of the buildings and
Absolutely.
displays.
So when you come up to our campus, there's a map of our campus. It's not the best map, but hopefully it'll get you to where you want to go. But every building has a main entrance where visitors can come in, sign in, and they're welcome to take a self-guided tour of the buildings. And a lot of most of our buildings have displays, posters, posters of what all the scientists are working on. So it's very, very interesting.
Well, that is true, and I hear there's a fish tank.
There is a fish tank.
I hear there's a fish tank, which sounds really cool. The Colorado and the native fish from this area, so
Exactly.
that's neat. And besides the self-guided tours, and you can come visit the library, you guys do lectures as well.
We do. We do lectures throughout the year. We have quite a robust outreach program. A lot of people here on campus love to go out and give lectures all the way from grade school through high school. We participate in lectures at NAU, Northern Arizona University, Lowell, the Museum of Northern Arizona. And then there's certain times of the year, there's certain science programs going on, like the Flagstaff Festival of Science.
Right.
And during that time, there's a lot of scientists here are giving lectures and presentations to the schools.
That's great. And when does that happen?
That is held in September.
All right.
And all the science agencies in town participate in this. It's been going on for a long time. And one of the big activities associated with the Festival of Science is the Science in the Park. And that's where most science groups in Flagstaff, they gather down in Wheeler Park in downtown Flagstaff, and they'll set up booths and displays and things for kids to interact with. Wow. They have a lot of rocks displayed and wildlife, and so it's a really good outreach event for the city.
You guys are doing a lot. There's a lot that you can come up and
Yes.
see and do and look at. And there's over 200 folks working here, scientists and technicians and all kinds of stuff, folks around and catch the lectures. Now, the website is the best place to see what's going on. And tell me the website.
Oh boy. I think if you just Google usgs.gov, you can eventually get down to the Flagstaff Science Campus.
Oh, there we go.
And then the Flagstaff Science Campus has a website that has links to all the science groups here on campus and also elsewhere in Arizona.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Bob Hart, scientist in charge, that's just such a cool handle. Here at the United States. Oh my gosh, I'm out of breath from all those different words, but the Flagstaff Science Campus, you got to come up and check it out. Check it out online. Bob, thank you so much for being here.
You bet. Thank you very much.
Very cool.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. We'll be right back, so don't go away.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Okay, Simon, what do people wear?
Clothes.
That's right, so it's important to learn how to dress yourself. Here's how it's done. Shirt, underwear, pants, socks, shoes. Underwear, always first, name tag on the back. Then pants and shirt. Go ahead and put this on. Now with the shirt, you want to make sure the first button's right or you have to start all over again, okay? Socks left on left, right on right. Tying the shoes, we're going to take the laces, we're going to cross them over, we're going to turn around where the bunny goes down in the hole, pull it tight, and bunny ears. Got it?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
Wasn't easy, our ground was rough, our footing falling, I didn't pick you up. I made you separate, I feared your light, to find your limits, I fueled the fight. But all I was seeing was myself in your eyes. I had never forgiven all this pain inside. And even though it seems like we're worlds apart, I know you like, I know my heart. 'Cause I see you when my heart beats, yours beats too. When your heart beats, mine beats too. What would I do without you? What would I do without you? the judgment, there stands the truth. 'Cause you are the doorway and you are the key, and the only one waiting was me. But all I was seeing was myself in your eyes. I had never forgiven all this pain inside. And even though it seems like we're worlds apart, I know you like, I know my heart. 'Cause I see you. When my heart beats, yours beats too. I see you. When my heart beats, yours beats too. What would I do without you? Oh, what would I do without you? When all of this life in our flesh and our bones, what are we calling our home? 'Cause home to me is the sameness I see, so better not to live there alone. Oh, better not to live there alone. Better not to live there alone. 'Cause I see you. When your heart beats, mine beats too. Well, I see you. When your heart beats, mine beats too. Oh, what would I do without you? What would I do without you?
Wow, I don't know what to say. That was fantastic. Adalia Tara, everyone. Wow, I love your voice. I love how you can control it and change it, and I can see that it's very moving to you while you sing. It's wonderful. Adalia Tara, did I say that? This is Adalia Tara. Wow, wonderful. And I know you wrote that song.
Yes.
And it was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm sure every one of her songs is absolutely beautiful. So you want to check her out on her Facebook page, Adalia Tara Facebook page. You're going to check that out because you say you're going to upload some songs and some music videos. And
Adalia Tara Music, the fan page, I have all my current shows up there. So I'm always playing each week in and around town, different festivals and stuff like that. And also on my website, adaliatara.com, I'll have a bunch of new music that I've been recording and some new video stuff, music video promotion stuff. So been getting involved in a lot of different projects lately.
That's awesome. AdaliaTara.com. I'm just going to hit you with all this information because I want you to look this lovely young lady up. And I want to hear your next song, so I want to make sure we get all this in. AdaliaTara.com. Did I say that? You play all over town, so you're one of those musicians that's actually working, which is absolutely awesome. You've done the film festivals, you've done Gumption Fest, the Illuminate Festival. It's just amazing. And you also do private things. You've done weddings. You must be so, not a dry eye when you do a wedding. It's got to be incredible.
Really nice. Yeah, it's fun to do
fantastic.
that. So, and I've been starting actually over at the Sedona Charter School too. I did an intro to singing and songwriting course for the middle school class there. So helping young people get their voice out as well.
I want to be a middle school student now.
Yeah, you should come.
Now, you have been so busy. It's such a wonder that we managed to snag you on the show, because you have been running back and forth to LA because your new album is about to come out.
Yeah, so this past year has been incredible and wonderful, just a year of growth, and been working on a lot of new songs, a new sound, and actually piano, this keyboard has been this new thing in my life that's kind of like a new love to me. So been writing a lot of new songs on piano, so I'm really excited to get all this new music out there.
That's very exciting.
It's all happening very soon. I don't have exact dates for you, but if you stay tuned to the website, I'll have everything posted up there. So.
Very cool. At adaliatara.com. Now, speaking of new music, this next song you're going to perform, she informed me earlier, this will be like the third time you've performed it in public.
Yes.
That's awesome. You're going to hear it here on the Verde Valley Experience.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
What's the next song called?
The next song is called Underground.
Oh.
So,
what inspired you to write that one?
This one, it's actually... It's about human relationships and really getting to the deep essence of human relationships and wanting to dig in deep with people and really talk about what's important. So there's kind of a metaphor of, you have these city streets, and it's like, I want to know what's underneath the city streets. I want to know what's the earth, like what's actually growing there. What's the foundation for all of this to be, these city streets, this chaotic, it was kind of a reflection of moving away from DC as well too, and kind of getting back to my roots, being back here and being back in nature and getting back into what I love to do, which is music. So.
Well, great. Well, thank you for coming back.
Thank you
We're so glad
much.
you're here. adaliatara.com.
Check it out.
Yes, and Adalia Tara Music on your fan page.
Yeah, the Facebook. And then also my website, there's links to YouTube and all that good stuff.
Very cool. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to get out of the way because I want to hear more.
Okay.
Thank you all for watching the Verde Valley Experience. We'll see you next time.
Okay.
Take me where the rain goes, where it gathers and gutters down in that deep flow. Oh, take me down beneath your town, under where the earth grows. And I don't want to live a lie. I want to find your deepest well, the one that keeps you alive. And I don't want to live a lie. The surface of these streets are rough, and a little of me dies. Waiting, 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 waiting. Never got us anywhere. So I'm going underground, where this wild heart still pounds. I'm going deeper low. The shallow streets aren't my home. Will you follow? Will you follow? I don't know, but I gotta go. 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 Take me where your roots wind down, where there isn't a sound, where life is found. Oh, take me below the summit, where nature's crooked and bent, it's natural. And show me the keys to your town. Let's stop screwing around. You know me, and I won't stand for anything less than your very best. So show me. Waiting, 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 waiting. Never got us anywhere. Going underground, where this wild heart still pounds, and I'm going deep below the shallow streets on my home. Will you follow? I don't know, but I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go. Down in the depths, we can breathe, and everything comes easy. Down in the depths is where I want to live, and from this deep place we can choose.